Subtle skills, big results.
Welcome to the Ninja Selling Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Ninja Selling Podcast. I'm Matt, he's Garrett, and we are, as always, super excited to be with you here today. The usual business, guys. If you are looking for more information about what we do, what Garrett and I do on a regular basis, which is coaching people one-on-one individually in their business, along with 30 other incredible coaches to help them thrive and succeed, just head over to ninjacoaching.com or go to ninjaselling.com and click the coaching button to take you to the same place. And if you want to join a community of like-minded individuals who are exploring Ninja, who are on the Ninja path, who are veterans, who are newbies, who are people all looking to get together and improve each other so we can improve the industry, head over to Facebook and search for the Ninja Selling Podcast. You'll find that group right there. Garrett, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. How are you today?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great. It's a beautiful day, rocking and rolling. Got the weekend ahead of us. Got some travel coming up. It's going to be great, man.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, man. And we've had, gosh, it's been cold. It's been really cold with the nice breaks. And I think this time of the year is so amazing to me because when the clouds do break and the blue sky comes out and the sun comes out, it's that crisp cold in the air. Like, it is one of my most favorite times of the entire year. I just love it.
I do like that crispness. I mean, living in the South now versus the Northeast, where I spent all of my life until 6 years ago. Anytime it gets to that, and next week we're going to get a below freezing overnight. And that's why I like getting out early in the morning too, because I'm like, I got to experience a little bit of that smell that comes with like that 30-degree air. And it's good.
I know this isn't, dude, nobody else is going to find benefit in this, but Matt, have you checked the temperature of where you're traveling to this next week?
No, I need to do that. I don't know if I have clothes for it.
Yeah, the low is -7 as of right now. Just so you're aware.
At least I don't have to worry about trying to bring my cold plunge with me then. I can just go stand outside.
just go roll outside on the grass so that people will wonder what's going on. But yeah, you need to prepare for that one. So I'm excited, man. We've got, I think this is going to be a little bit of a short one for everybody today, but at the end of this, I think it's a good place for people to go to. I kind of brought this topic to Matt because I'm watching with a lot of my coaching clients as they're getting rolling in this year, as they're getting started. There's actually some really good business starting to come around. I've actually been telling everybody, this is a little side note, but like as we went through 2023, Matt, we heard a lot of people saying things like, I just wish the market would be a little bit more normal. I wish we'd kind of normalize a little bit. And then about middle of 2023, people were saying, I feel like it's starting to become a little bit more normal. Like that term came around. And then at the end of 2023, they're like, it really feels like a normal kind of market right now. And I know what I realized is we need to replace the word normal. And we said this early in 2023, that there really is no normal market out there. But what people are really saying is healthy. That's actually what you need to put the word healthy instead of normal in there.
And they're comfortable with it too. They become, it's stable. Whatever it is, it's not, up and down. Right.
Yeah. We got buyers that want to buy. We got sellers that want to sell. Sellers aren't trying to take advantage of the buyers necessarily. And the buyers aren't really trying to take advantage of the sellers because the market's kind of stabilized out here a little bit. And it really is a healthy market. And because of that, we are watching businesses start to pick up. We are watching people really starting to get going. And so, Matt, I want to throw this analogy on the table to you. The analogy is of a water wheel and a grain mill. And we're going way back in time. They don't have these anymore. At least they're not constructing these as of right now. They've moved on to better technology.
Yeah, very, very much commercialized at this point.
Yeah. We've made major improvements in the production of flour. But back in the day, you had this mill and you had big grinding wheels inside of it. And to turn these big grinding wheels, you had this big, huge water wheel on the side of this they weren't rustic buildings back then. They turned into rustic buildings, but this new beautiful cabin on the side of this river. And what they would do is they would power these things by pouring water over the top of them. They would divert a stream up above and the water would come down. Now, the things I think what's cool about this analogy of this water wheel and this mill is that there's a lot of people out there that run a referral-based business by kind of dabbling in it. They do all this other stuff and then, we'll kind of check in on our clients every once in a while. And that's like taking a garden hose and holding it over the top of the water wheel and kind of giving it some water every now and then. And it would start to turn a little bit. And they're like, ooh, I get referrals. Look at this. I created something. And then they run off and go do other stuff. And then the bottom bucket dumps out. And then they have to fill the top bucket again. And this big wheel will start to turn. Well, we learned, and there's people that learned way back in the day, like we need to be more efficient with making flour and production if we're going to make a business out of this. Like we can't just sit here and trickle the water over the top of this. So what they do is they would divert a stream up above. They would bring the water down in canals. And what's cool is if you think about it, when you first break that stream through, it doesn't come down as a big rush of water. You're digging this canal out and you start to get a little trickle of water over the top. And at first they're like, this is great. Like this works wonderful. We now are powering this thing that's working. And at some point, somebody says, what if we had more water? Like, what if we made that canal up there better? What if we went out and dug it out a little bit more? We made a little bit more space. We maybe dammed up the river up above. Matt, you'd mentioned that earlier. What if we dammed up the river above so we could create more flow up there, more volume coming down? And at some point, this canal is beautiful. It is just beautifully formed, comes right down, pouring over the top of this water wheel. And you're sitting there looking at your flour mill and you're just dumping grain in because this thing is just spitting out flour. Everything's working like a well-oiled machine. What happens is that all of a sudden you get complacent and you get in this place of we're just going to start bagging flour, bagging flour, bagging flour, bagging flour. And this is awesome. And all of a sudden you don't realize it, but the machines are running a little bit slower. All of a sudden, the grinding wheel is just not turning quite as fast. Maybe the bags of grain that we're supposed to be getting from our supplier maybe aren't coming in the same way, but we're just bagging flour and bagging flour. And then all of a sudden the machine gets to a point that you're like, something's wrong. Like, what happened here? Like, what is going on? And that's a moment that you step back and you start analyzing, okay, is it the grain? Do we not have enough grain coming in? No, I got piles of grain sitting over there. That's not it. Well, what's going on? The water wheel's not turning at the rate it was before. We're not processing as much. Well, let's go out and figure out what's going on. And you start walking upstream your canal, and there's a tree laying across it. And this is no different than my client that I was just coaching. That's like, I just realized I haven't had a piece of marketing go out for 3 months. I was like, well, you had a big old tree laying across your canal. And I think these are these things that we just get complacent with, and we get in the moment of doing the business, and we get in the moment of just kind of showing up every day, going to the office, heading home. We did it. We went to work that day. And really all of your flow activities that we have, and you look at the Ninja 9, all the notes, all the real estate reviews, all the hour power phone calls, and all the stuff we do to generate, that's all in that stream up above up there. And I brought this up because I want people to stop. I want all my coaching clients that I'm working with, like, make sure you're taking the time to go up there. So I threw this at you, Matt, this morning.
Yeah.
And you're like, let's roll with this. And so I know I'm down a huge path here, but I want to hear your kind of thoughts on it.
I just love the way that you described it because, I'll add one more component to the analogy, right? So when all of a sudden the water wheel stops turning, some people will think, oh gosh, the stream just isn't providing anymore. So now let's go purchase water to be piped in from somewhere else. Let's go buy the input and get that water wheel cranking. And I don't now have to go in the effort. I just stroke a check and the water comes in until it doesn't, or there's a problem. And then you got to go find somebody to manage that versus managing your inputs, your raw inputs yourself. And that's what you see when people are like, oh, I need to go buy leads or do this or whatever, which it works. It'll turn the wheel, right? But at what cost is always the question. And what does that do to the consistency of the business? And I look at that river, stream, whatever we want to call it. Those are your relationships, right? And we've said this on a podcast before, and I say this to a lot of my clients. Let's build relationships so that we can be in touch with customers before they become a lead, right? Because at any point in time, when somebody becomes a real estate quote unquote lead, they've made a decision, they want to do something, and they don't have somebody that they trust to go ask questions about. So they click a button or they fill out a form and they become a lead. If we have a relationship, they will not become a lead, right? We have our own lead gen machine here. It's called the warm list. And that's the maintaining that river, maintaining that stream, making sure that debris is clear. If we have dammed it up creek to manage the flow, what's going on there? Is that being maintained well? And yeah, it can be distracting to get into the business and be like, oh, I need to focus on getting these deals closed or what, this and that. But when it comes to asking like, how do I get more business? How do I get more water flowing? I mean, the stats are pretty clear from NAR, and they've done the home buyer and seller report every single year for a very long time. And the latest one was released this past November. And it's no surprise that I'm going to just lump the stats into one thing, that about 60 to 70% of buyers and sellers find their agent because they either know them personally or they're referred to them by somebody that they trust, right?
I'll be really curious, Matt, to see in the new stats that come out coming through these last couple of years, like going back, they've got to have increased, because I know that I saw like
This is 23. This is the 23 stats.
oh, I haven't looked at them yet.
Here, I'll pull it up right here. It's I just have the seller number here. 39% referred by or is a friend, neighbor, or relative, and 26% used an agent they previously used to buy a home. So I misquoted the combination. That leads to the 65-ish percent, right? They used the agent previously. What's crazy is only 26% use the agent that they previously used.
Yeah.
That's wild to me, right? Those are because those people aren't going. Whereas I think Zillow did a report years ago that said only 1 in 4 homeowners stay in communication with their agent after the sale, and only 6% stay in good communication after the sale, right? So these stats could be way higher if people stayed in flow. And people are like, well, I got to do the marketing. Well, the stats there are clear too. For new business, people that you don't know. And I'm a fan of social media. I use social media. I think it's a great tool to continue to build relationships. But in terms of not having relationships, of bringing in new business, 1% of sellers found their agent through social media without knowing that person first, right? I mean, doesn't get any clearer than that, Garrett.
Well, and I think as you're sitting here talking about this, one thing that we see as coaches all the time, Matt, is the amount of people that come to us, and even the amount of work that we have to do with the people that we're coaching to make sure that they are not losing sight of the people that have done transactions with them. Like I don't know why it's such a natural thing to be like, that piece of business is done, I got to go out and find more. It's very much a hunter-gatherer type of approach that so many people come to us and we're like, how do you stay in touch with the people that you've done business with in the past? And there is no plan. There's nothing they're doing. And then the work to get people to say, look, have you gone back and talked to them? Well, sort of, like on the holidays, like I'll drop by something on the holidays. But other than that, I haven't stayed really in touch with them. Like, these opportunities are all around us. And as we talk about this flow and the river and the stream that's going to be pouring over this water well, I love, Matt, that you went down the line of you can go buy water, which is way more expensive than, by the way, just going and walking up your canal every once in a while and just making sure that all the debris is cleaned out of it and the water flows great.
Well, here's the interesting thing. Think about the infrastructure that you need to then invest in. Same thing if you're buying online leads. A lot of people go and buy leads, but then they don't have the infrastructure to actually take care of the flow of leads that come in. They put it all on themselves. So they're answering the phone 24/7. They're responding to emails. There's no system of how they're going to follow up with those people. That would have to be invested if you're going to buy water. Okay, I'm going to buy water. Well, how do I get it here?
Yeah.
I got to build it. Well, with that effort, why don't you just go take care of your own darn stream?
That's what I want others to also hear from this, is that all of you, everyone listening to this, has a nearby river. The river is flowing. The water is going. It is moving every single day. You can hear it from the cabin. Oh my gosh, look at that. And that's all those people that are running around town. It's all the cars driving around. It's all the life happening in this town that you live in. This is the river flowing by. And if you go out and you engage it and you create the relationships, that is building the canal up above. And as you divert it and you start having some of that come your direction, this is where you get the power of this referral relationship style business. The problem is a lot of people never go build the canal.
Right.
And they never take the time to actually work on to clean it up. And we're just constantly in this process of either going out and finding that individual real estate transaction, or you're sitting there with a little garden hose just turning the wheel by yourself. And it's a long, hard process that way. And again, 2023 was one of the most rewarding, and that's why I thought the numbers might be higher, was one of the most rewarding referral-based markets I've ever seen for the people that have engaged it.
Well, I don't know when they released the 2023 report. I'm not sure when their survey was done. I'm sure it's somewhere in here.
I think we might have to look at the 2024 numbers. It'll be fun to come back at this, because the amount of business that I saw through personal relationships and people reaching out to their friends, that is where people had record-breaking years last year. And Matt, one of the things that we haven't done yet, but I want to do it in the coaching program, is I want to get a panel of all the people that did their best year they ever had in 2023.
Yeah.
Because I keep hearing about people that did it at the same point, and we're going to do a podcast on this here coming up, an episode on this coming up, is that the amount of orphan clients roaming around out there that their realtor that they've had for a long time is no longer in the business right now because they did not know how to make business in 2023. That's really high. There's
Yeah.
a lot of people either on hold, trying to find other jobs. They have stopped trying to figure out real estate. This business, like we saw people have the best years they ever had, broke their goals, hit their numbers they wanted to hit in a marketplace that chewed up and spit out a lot of realtors.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, particularly with a lot of the headlines and news and all that stuff. And I think, Garrett, the reason why a lot of people don't invest in the stream, the river, whatever we're calling it, is it can be a little bit scary because if you're going to buy the water from somewhere else, I know what I'm getting, right? There's stats around that. There's, the ROI of investing in this thing, the number of leads that I'm guaranteed or whatnot. Whereas going the other way, like there aren't pure and hard stats because it's hard to measure that because everybody is different at maintaining relationships. And it also sometimes takes more time, right? And so there's that weird dichotomy that goes in our brain of like, well, I'm going to invest all this time over here, but I'm not sure they're going to be ready to do business. And I'm not 100% sure that they're going to send referrals my way. And that's the risk that we have to take. You have to get comfortable with going to take that risk because we do see those results along our coaching clients.
But do you also think, Matt, that it's more vulnerable?
Oh, it definitely is too. I mean, it's
working with people that you know and like diverting the stream over and now working with these people that you're going to have to see them again. They're in your circles. They're in your world. They're in your life.
It's way easier to hear no from a stranger than it is from someone that you know.
I think this part of it then goes back to what is your personal belief system about you being a professional in this industry?
Mm-hmm.
And I know that there's a certain place you get to in real estate, in anything. I know as in coaching, I mean, I've done this for 20 years. And there was a time up front that there was a little part of my voice going like, I was in my early 20s, kind of going like, like I hope, and then working with a stranger felt way more comfortable than working with a true friend that came to me and said, hey, help me with my business. Can you guide me to be successful? But as you become a professional, and I think this is where it goes back into everybody's hands of, if you want to build a real strong, powerful referral-based business, one of the aspects of it is you got to be good. You got to be really good at what you do.
Oh, yeah.
And if you do not trust yourself at that level, if you don't see yourself as I'm the one who's gone out, I've educated myself, I know how to handle this, I know I can bring the highest in quality of value, I know I can operate bigger and better than other brokers out there. There's a piece of that I think you need to start to really develop in yourself. And it's not a cockiness or anything like that. It's more of just a confidence in your ability to do this job that's been given to you. And if you look at any successful businesses out there, we can go back to Hall's Steakhouse. Those guys have perfected putting out an amazing steak. You look at Crumble Cookie. Those guys have obviously figured out putting out a product that makes people go, whoa, even though I've had one bite of one. I'll never do that again. That's not a negative thing to them.
You're not a sugar guy.
Oh, it's like it's cake. It's not cookies. It's cake. Let's just be real clear about it. So, but I think to be successful and to have repeat and referral business and word of mouth business, one of the things you have to have is you have to have confidence in yourself and your product that you're providing. And I think that's where a lot of people have a hard time, diverting the river up above and having this flow coming in this way because there is that vulnerable side of it.
Yeah.
Before they believe in themselves, maybe.
I would totally agree with that. Right. I mean, we tend to lean on the bad review or that one thing that one person said to us about our business or about us personally, but we don't pay attention to all the great things or the just above average things that people say about us, which are indicators that we're good at what we do. And so I think part of this, Garrett, I'll just kind of, if you're struggling with the upstream, lean into the good things that people say about you.
Yeah.
Go back and look at your happy clients and go talk to your happy clients. Because you know what? Once you start taking care of the upstream, the people who loved working with you, they're going to make you feel so good because you've made them feel good. And that's a good feeling.
So it's interesting. So I have a client that I coach, and I will have her on, and I will mention her name here down the road because she's somebody that I actually want to interview and share with everybody. But she's an agent that found Ninja here a while back, and she's been building the systems and building the growth around it. And she comes from a very much a Zillow background, lead purchasing background, came out of a team that was buying leads and doing expired listings. And she's now on her own, fully on her own, running her own business, being successful. She can see how she can do this on her own, which is, I'm so incredibly proud of her. And this other side of it is she had this realization over the holidays because she's, again, fully embracing Ninja. She goes, I'm reaching out to all my people. I'm going to drop by a nice little gift, and I'm going to do it all like as much as I can, face to face, go out and shake their hands and talk to them. She started crying on our coaching call here just the other day because she said, I can see it right now. I went out and talked to all these people that I've done business with, and there's the ones I can see a line from before I started Ninja to after I started Ninja. And the ones before I started Ninja, I didn't take care of them in the same way. I didn't follow up with them in the same way. And here I am showing up with a Christmas gift, and they're like, like, hi, but good to see you again. Like, you know, and then there's this other side of it. And she goes, in some of them were Zillow leads and other leads that she had purchased, but she started applying them and building the Ninja relationship with them and really pouring into them in that way and staying in touch with them. And she says, you could tell that they were happy to see her. You could tell that they were excited that she was stopping by for the holidays and she was having these great conversations with them. And you could hear it in her voice, like, I can see it. And she's specifically where this analogy of the water wheel came from, because I was telling her, you are diverting the stream up above and you're creating this constant flow of people that now know you, like you, trust you, understand the value and the service that you provide. And as you continue to divert this down and build these people coming this way, you're going to all of a sudden have this moment of, oh my gosh, look at what is happening. And it happens for everybody, and this will take place. But all these elements that we've talked about today, Matt, these are all pieces that go into having the successful business of real estate, having a referral-based business. And I hope people got some good stuff today to kind of go out and think about and explore with this.
Yeah, this is great, man. Thanks for bringing up this topic. This is awesome. It's a feel-good topic too. I love talking about this stuff. So this is great.
Right on, man. Well, with that being said, I appreciate everybody listening. Again, I told you it's going to be a little quick one, a little shot in the arm for today. And Matt, thank you so much. Everybody's listening, thank you so much. If you want to learn more about our coaching program or learn about our amazing coaches that we have that are helping people achieve incredible goals, a couple things you can do. One is you can go to the Ninja Selling website. You can look under coaching there. You can even type in Ninja Coaching. It'll take you right to it. The other thing that we are starting to build out is inside the Facebook community, which is the Ninja Selling podcast community. We've been doing some spotlights where you'll see them as bonus episodes that have been coming through. And if you're interested to learn more about coaching, just search spotlights actually in the Facebook group, and it'll pull up the interviews that we've done with coaches and their clients. You can actually hear what they're doing and the experiences that they've had. And then I'm currently right now populating our YouTube page for coaching, and we're going to have all those videos there. So if any of you want to go check out, listen to those interviews, find your coach in there. We're going to start getting all the coaches in. I don't have y'all in right now, but I'm actively loading those in right now and making them go live. And that'll hopefully give you guys a little bit more to go look at and understand about what we're doing in Ninja Coaching and how we can help you. So appreciate you all. Thank you so much. And Matt, I'm going to see you again soon.
Absolutely. Catch you later, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
If you enjoyed today's episode and would like more, visit us at theninjasellingpodcast.com.
There you will also find links for more information about ninja selling and coaching. Have an incredible day.